ladies and gentlemen, my show today is being optimistic. The reason why I picked that show is randomly I was hearing some people that had been through some things, adversity, you know what I'm saying? And when people been through some situations, helicopter accident, they were on drugs, you were on drinking, you get a divorce, you have to start over in life. You have to go through some adversity to see the greater benefit, and when you appreciate and remain optimistic is when you have some falls. When you go through life smooth sail and don't have no pitfalls, you do not appreciate life as much as someone that's been through some things. When you've been through some things, then you appreciate life more. It's just the way it goes. It's the lessons of life. You know what I mean? The more you go through, the more, if you go through it and you grow through it, then you're going through it in the right procedure. What I mean by that is when you get to a certain age, you don't play, you don't be around negative people. You realize, you know, that life is not a game. You're not playing no more. You get to a point where you're mature. You know, you're trying to advance. You know what I'm saying? And you realize just waking up, you appreciate just waking up, having the choice to do the things you want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people end up going to jail or doing something, like I said, something bad makes them appreciate life more. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through nothing bad. You can take a situation to where you need to be inspired and be on fire, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you get around people that are positive, that are motivational, that are inspiring. You see, that's why if you're say for instance, you know, you're an alcoholic or you're a drug addict or you're in a situation like that, what you have to do is you have to go to meetings, get around people that are uplifting, people that have been through the things you've been through, people that have overcome, you know what I'm saying, their adversity. What I mean by that is they've overcame it and they're on smooth sailing. They know the recipe. They got the recipe to remain in their sobriety. See, you know what I'm saying? They got the recipe. What I mean by that is they went to the meetings. They got around the people. They went to the library. They went to, you know, to the coffee shops. You know what I mean? They got around people that were not around liquor. You stay away from the bars. You stay away from the corners where people stand around drinking. You have to change your habits. So you have to change your habits. When you're once doing this, trying to make this change, it's difficult. It's difficult when you're making the change. When you once make the change, and it becomes a habit, and you do it automatically, and you start enjoying it. Then you start enjoying the progress, and you start enjoying the new life that you live. It's not strange. You're comfortable in it. When you once do that, you repetitiously, you keep doing that, and you stay on a positive trail. You don't never backslide as far as going around people that are thinking, people that are doing drugs, people that are drinking. You don't have nothing to do with people that are even talking negative talk. People that are even talking that kind of talk. Any negative, because negative breeds negativity. In other words, what I mean by that is, if you're around somebody, say for instance, say if you're a married person, and you're around a person, you know what I mean, that's steady talking about cheating and running around with women and doing these things, and they're not being faithful to their wife, and that's in their repertoire. They're doing that. You know, that's part of their program. Well, you don't have no business being around, not only not listening to that, you don't have no business being around a person that has not good moral standards and upbreed, you know what I mean, and principles and standards. Because first of all, they can't enhance you and put you on the right track when they're doing things that are wrong. If they do anything like that wrong and they have no regards and no respect for people that they call themselves loving and being with, they think it's slick to do that, then you don't need to be around that type of person anyway. Even though they might not be drinking, they're still not doing right. See, it don't have to always be the drug and the drinking, personally. It could be the behavior from that drug and drinking. Because I'm going to tell you why I know this for a fact. When I slipped, I had 10 years clean. And when I slipped on that 10 years that I had clean, it was because I took it for granted. You understand me? I was being optimistic and doing all the things that were right, but I was misusing people and abusing and you know, verbally wasn't being fair and wasn't being righteous by moral principles and standards. I wasn't doing what was right in that area. So I had paid the price later. I was pimping, I was misusing women, I was, you know, having more than one woman. You know, I was doing a lot of things that wasn't right, you see. you know, and lying to a woman, you know what I mean? And it's things that, see, you can't, don't nothing come from when you're deceiving and cheating and lying. You have to be truthful and be honest. So when I got paid for that price, which was 24 years ago, when I slipped and fell and lost that 10 years that I had in my clean and sober, because I realized you got to do it all right. You got to do it the right way. You can't be half-stepping. You can't be playing. You can't be just not drinking and not using drugs. It's your behavior, the type of people you be around, the respect and the morals. You got to live a whole different life. It's beyond being a square. See, that's what people don't understand. It's beyond being a square. Be true to one woman. Treat her like a queen, the woman you're with. Be respectful. Do all you can. Be good to her. She will also be good to you. If not, then you don't need to be with her. Get somebody else that will appreciate you. Don't settle for less. Settle for the best. Be optimistic and be your best self. You understand me? And God will put you in a position for good things to happen. But you have to be on that page. And that's what you have to know, and you have to really believe, and you have to really have faith. You have to have faith that things are going to be better. They will be better if you put everything in that and you do what's right yourself, not for no results, but for to be the good because you're a good person, and good will come to you. It's that gravitational pull, see? And this is something that people do not understand. You know what I'm saying? They think they run around here, you understand me, with their chest all pulled out, with so many years clean, and they don't have the clean behavior. And I think to myself, I didn't know it until I lost my 10 years. I thought it was simple, just being clean and sober and you know, not having the behavior. And you still going around the bars. You still going around those people. That energy is not going to let you stay that way. You're going to be pulled into that position. You have to eliminate those people completely. You have to stay completely away from them. You can't have nothing to do with those people. You have to be away. And I hate to say it, but that's what you have to do. You know? You know what I'm saying? And like my queen was telling me about this lady at the senior center that she said they call her Tina Terrific, but there's nothing terrific about a person that's an alcoholic and a drunk and misbehaving and doing things that are not right. You know what I mean? There's nothing terrific about that, because you have to look at this. If your behavior, like I said, when you once drink and you do all these things that are not right, you're not living right, because first of all, beyond that behavior is you cheating. You cheating with a married man. You know what I mean? You're being home care, and you take that woman, you deceiving her and cheating with her husband. Nothing good comes out of those situations. People like that you stay away from, because they are not good. I mean, you don't have two words for them. You stay away from completely, because that energy will take you back. It's no good. You know what I'm saying? It's good to respect all people and don't judge people. Do not judge. Do not judge people. But you stay away from people that are negative, that are drinking, that have bad habits, that are not encouraging, they're not inspiring. If they don't motivate you and encourage you, they're stealing your joy, and you don't need that. You need encouragement. Life is too short to be wasting time trying to help somebody that's hurting that don't want help. That's something else I realize. You send them to a group, they go to AA, NA, and go to those places, and if they want your help, they'll get it. Because you will offer them information, and they'll come back to hear the word that you have to say continuously. That's what Fast Black did. The young man I mentored, and he is a successful filmmaker now, making films and doing things that are good. He changed his whole life around. He was in a fast life, and I just gave him true wisdom and true game, true knowledge of what's going on now. I'm not going to deceive him and tell him a lie. That's why I don't talk to everybody and tell them everything, because a lot of people, if they're not ready for it, they ain't going to accept it. Because this is reality. This is the real world. This is not no shortcut. Most people that are in the fast life, they want something fast. That's why they're in the fast life. But it's not no quick way to it. Because when you try to get something fast and quick, you end up getting a fix. Because life is not like that. You got to work hard. If you work hard anyway in life, you got to work hard on yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's all work. Anything you do worthwhile is work. It's work involved. And that's what people don't understand. They want something quick. They want a quick fix. They want a quick this. They want to quick that. People want everything quick. It takes time to get to a position in life and a state of mind in life to be anywhere. Just like me, it took me time to be who I am right here today, standing before you. You know what I mean? Having the confidence and the motivation and the inspiration that I have. It took me years to get like this, to where I'm so assertive of myself. That's why when people say something about the way I look, they don't like the way I wear something. I don't care what they wear. I don't wear it for them. You understand? And if they try to say that, that's haters coming at you, trying to challenge you, you understand? They don't mean you no good. When they say things like that, congratulate, don't celebrate, because That's what I'm doing. I'm celebrating life every day, you understand me? Somebody asked me, why you dress so nice? I'm celebrating life, you understand me? The fact that I got up this morning and that I'm able to breathe and I'm able to be optimistic today, you understand me? And be an inspiration to somebody else's life. Somebody will see me like I seen Sweet Roy 50 years ago, 54 years ago when I seen Sweet Roy. And he made an impression on me in life. He was confident. He had game. He was immaculately dressed. He had everything going. He inspired me, you understand me, to be who I am today, because from that point on, I knew exactly how I was going to be a figure in the fast life when I was in the game. I knew what I wanted to do. And you know, I patterned myself after positive people and positive things. I took some side tracks that took me a sidetrack away from where I was trying to go. I got that, but you know, through the experiences you learn. You try things, you know what I mean? You have fun for a while. You know, you drink. I was taking bennies. I was doing all that stuff when I started out, because it was fun at the time. I was getting away with it. You know what I mean? At that time, in the hippie days, you know, it was all fun. For 20, 30 years, I did that. Then when I got in my 30s, when I got, you know what I mean, 33, hey, I had to change my life, man. I went to prison, you understand me, did a few years, and got an education and studied and went to school, got degrees, and realized that, hey, I got to win. I got to stay away from drugs and drinking, because that was my downfall. From there, I knew what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And I got knowledge, and I hung around people that were doing positive things. And then at that time, I still had to make the downfall, because I still was around the game, the fast life, the streets. And I knew that the fast life, the streets, prostitution, drugs, and drinking, and all that was going on was not conducive to my sobriety. So I had to get, I felt. When I felt it at 10 years, then I realized, because my friend kept telling me, a friend of mine named Jody kept saying, hey, you know, man, you don't need to do that. You're too close to the alcohol, man, and all that. Going to the after hours and clubs and being around that cocaine, around the hookers. That's not good for you. You don't need to do that. It's not good, brother. It's not good. I said, well, I'm not going to live like a square. I wasn't ready to live like a square. You know what I mean? So I steady did what I did and did what I did. And I didn't realize it until I fell. Then when I fell, I realized, well, I still can be in a fast life. I still can do what I do, but not be around those people, but still get fast money. I did that, and then I was successful. And to this day, I never worked and never will. And I won. I got 24 years clean, but I did it my way because I got the recipe. And that's why, you understand me, I can talk about it. Because you don't have to be a square in order to be successful. You just have to live that way and live by the right way of life. You don't have to look like one, you don't have to act like one. You know what I'm saying? When you once got confidence and you build yourself up to where you have so much knowledge of the fast life, knowledge of life, then you're not a square, you're beyond a square. You know what I mean? You're beyond a square and you're beyond a player, you're beyond all that. You know what I'm saying? You just got the recipe for life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You got the recipe for life, man, and you know how to live and you do it right. And you don't have no, you're not seeking the confirm. You don't seek for nobody to confirm you. You got the recipe. You know what to do and how to do it. So you can teach other people if they want to know. You can learn. They can learn from me because I know, because I got 54 years experience in life, in the fast life, and in life. I'm the ambassador to the game, and the reason why they appointed me that is because of who I am. And that's a long story, so I'm not going to get into that. But I am somebody, and I know it, and I realize it. So I don't have to prove things to other people. I don't go out around. You know, I'm optimistic. I feel optimistic every day because of what I do, when I feed myself. You know, the people I be around. You know what I mean? Uplifting people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be around anybody for not a minute of my time around somebody negative, somebody that's not optimistic and not positive. You know what I'm saying? If they're not on that track. You know, most people I'm around are reformed alcoholics, drug addicts. They've been through it, so they know and they appreciate life. And they're not squares because they've been through it. They know it ain't happening, but they've been there and did that. They're politicians. You know what I'm saying? They work in the mayor's office. They do all kind of things. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm telling you, man, I got people that, you know, move, they make movies. I got people in my life that are doing wonderful, great things. And that's what you have to do. You have to get out of the fact of thinking, well, you know, looking ahead and say, well, man, you know, I got to take the shortcut. You know, I got to do that. No, you got to do what's right. And there's only one way to do it, and that's to stay sober, stay drug-free. If you have a problem with drugs and drinking, stay away from stress, stay away from people that bring you down. You can be in a toxic relationship, and they don't have to be drinking or using drugs. They could be a person that have a negative attitude, and they bitter, and they bicker, and they make you upset, and you know what I mean? And they may not take a drug or drink or do nothing, but they got toxic, they got negative, and they complaining all the time. You don't need to be around that, because that will spring you on being, you need somebody that's going to make you peaceful. You don't need to be around those people, even though they may not drink or do drugs, but they're frustrated and they're negative and they're complaining. You don't need to be around that. You need to be around peace and mind, happiness. You can be by yourself, but you got to learn to be by yourself and be happy before you be around other people. This is what people don't realize either. They got to always be around somebody because they don't like being by themselves. But I'm at a point in my life where I'm happier and doing better than I ever did. And I don't mean materialistically. I realize cars, money, and all those things don't make you happy, even clothes. If I didn't have these clothes, I'd still be happy. Like I told people before, I was in jail, I did 2 years, and I was happy as I ever did my whole life. And I was like 22, 23 years old, and I was running 10 miles a day. And I didn't have anything, but I had a dream, I had hopes, and I was taking care of my health and my happiness at that time. I was doing what I had to do. It's just things, when I got into reality, when I got out of there and came into the real world, I wasn't ready for the real world because things change. You have to deal with adversity. You know what I mean? Things that set you off to go drinking and drugs. See, I didn't realize what was going to happen. And that's why you have to go through it in order to know what to do with it. When you go through it, you know. That's why I said it's the experience. You have to go through the experience. You go to jail once, say you're in your 20s, you go to jail once, or you're in your 30s. You have a chance to change your life around where you have to never go back and do nothing over again. You change your life, you understand? What I mean by changing your life is you do what's right. You know, it's not square to do what's right. It's, you want to live a long time. Two things people want to do. They want to live long, they want to have a family, they want to have children, they want to have someone to love them, they want to mate. These are things you want. This is a natural thing to have. There's nothing square about that. That's the way it goes. People that have problems in life, malfunction, you know, dysfunctional, these are people that go their whole life without going from woman to woman, man going from woman to woman, women going from man to man. That's not the way to live. You think it's slick to have a lot of women or have a lot of men. No, it's not slick. It's not happiness to do that. People do that when they're trying to find themselves in other people. They don't know how to find themselves. They got to love themselves first, and then they can find the right person, and then God will bring you to that place when he knows you're ready for that. You got to be ready yourself. See, when you're young and you're doing that in your 20s, is what you call growing. Sowing wild oats, as they say. That's good in your 20s. That's when you do all that running around with different women and do all that. You do it when you're young. But when you're older and you're doing that, you're going to end up by yourself. You know? You're going to end up by yourself, an old, lonely person. And you see it all the time. And then nobody don't want them then. People don't want you then. Then you really complaining because you have something to complain about. But if you changed your life before you got to that point, you'll be inspired, you will grow gracefully, you will be an inspiration, you will be someone, you understand me, that will be an example to other people. You will be a role model to younger people because they'll see you and say, I want to be like them. I want to be like that. Like I have a queen, and me and her dress alike, and we do what we do, and we inspire other people. You know what I'm saying? We do this for us, and other people get motivated and inspired by it. We don't care what other people think. We know we're doing what's right for us. It motivates us. It gives us inspiration, and it inspires other people to see us and compliment us, and you know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing, and it's our thing. If somebody would try to do it and follow us, that's on them. I'm not recommending you to do what you do. We do what's right for us. That's what we do. That's our recipe for, you know what I mean, unity and happiness and closeness, matches with heart attached. You know, we have our thing we do. People have to find what they do, and people have to find their better half and be grateful and be thankful when you do. But don't be hating on somebody that has it because it won't come to you. If you have to be loving and understanding and appreciate people that have those things. Like me, for instance, I've seen friends of mine that had that, and that's what I wanted, and I looked at that and I told God I want that, and I didn't accept nothing less because I knew what that other was going to do, be chaos and be madness. If you don't find the ones that's with you and going to be for you, and you just have them occupy your space until it happens. Then I said, no, I don't want that no more. I said, I don't want to even be with nobody. I want to be by myself. And then room will be for the right one to come. Until then, I don't want to be with nobody. And you know what I did? I think I went about a year or maybe a year and a half on that page. Not being with no one at all. Just saying I'm not going to be with no one unless it's the right one. And you know what? It was about a year, and then the right one, I got the right one. But I told myself I wasn't going to have no, because if you have somebody that's not for you, the right one that's not right, and you have them in your life, God will not send you the right one because he figures you got somebody in your life. So he takes you off that call. He takes you off the call list to send you a mate. You know what I mean? Even though you're a perfect mate, your perfect combination could be waiting. But he said you weren't ready. You weren't ready. You didn't make the sacrifice. You didn't love yourself enough to wait and go through the test that God sent you through. You didn't pass it. So he didn't send you the right one. He sent you somebody else that you know, you went and found somebody else that wasn't God sent. So that's why you got somebody that really you're not compatible with, really not fulfilling, but you're selling for them because you didn't wait for the best, you settled for the less. And that's, sometimes people do that, you know. But I knew in my heart and in my life that I wasn't going to do that. Because I thought more of myself than that. You know, when I must made my mind up and I tried trials and tribulations and I knew I couldn't make somebody be like I wanted them to be, then I just gave up and said, hey, I'm just going to take care of me. And I was just like a peacock. You understand me? And going through the moves and going through the way. And hey, God sent me what I needed, you understand? Sent me what I wanted. So that's, you know, and I got to be the best I can be and continuously appreciate him and walk the walk and do what's right. Because I know if you do what's right, you can't do no wrong. And being optimistic and having faith and knowing better days are going to come, better things are going to happen, you know what I'm saying, in your life. You know what I mean? Better health, better, you got to do the right things. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs, don't get around toxic people. People that are toxic, stay away from them. If they're doing things that are not right, stay away from them completely. You don't have nothing to do with them. I don't care if it's family, relatives, or if you're children. If they're doing wrong and doing it, you stay away from them. Because if you can't bring them up, they will bring you down. So you have to stay away from them. If they don't listen, you preach motivation, you speak inspiration, you talk the right talk and tell them what's happening. If they don't want to listen and do what's right, and instead of coming around trying to steal your energy and not doing what you tell them to do, then you have to stay away from them. Simple as that, you understand? If they're not doing good, that's what you got to do for them. You know what I'm saying? Because words, people say certain things, but it's what people do, not just what they say. You know what I'm saying? Just like my queen, her son, he's an example. He's doing good now. He's got a job. He's doing what's right because his mother taught him right. You know, if your parents teach you right, or if you have one parent or whatever it is, if they show love and treat you right, and they're an example of doing what's right, the kid ain't gonna do wrong. He's gonna do mostly like his parents because he loves his parents. His parents there for him, and his parents showed him the right way. If he doesn't do what's right, like some kids do, like I got a friend, used to be my best friend, his kid doing wrong and doing this, that's because you showed him that way. You was dealing drugs, you was not with a woman, you picked women that were on that level. He's doing the same thing you're doing. He's being like you. So you can't be mad at him. How is he going to be a doctor or be a lawyer? How is he going to, be around those kind of people when he was raised in the ghetto around drug dealers and people that misused women? Had a lot of women and thought it was cute. So he's 40-something years old now, and that's ingrained in him like it was ingrained in you. And you 70 and you 66 and you still got that in you. So you got to see reality. Ain't nothing going to be, it is what it is. You got to face reality. Things don't change until you change. For you to make things change, it's got to be a change in you for you to think your kids and your people are going to be different. You got to show them right so they'll be right. If they see you tell them one thing, but if you're not doing that, then they're not paying that no mind. You have to be doing that, the thing that you tell them. I got another friend, I tell her about her daughter. I say, look, you show her the way, she's doing what she sees you do. She's actually doing better than you did because she knows what's right because she's intelligent and she's smart. So praise her for what she's doing good. Don't just always look at because she's not doing what you want her to do or not because she's got her life to live. And that's what people don't understand. They want you to do what they want you to do. A lot of parents do that. They want the kids to do what they want them to do. My father wanted me to be a merchant marine. And he even got me the papers when I got in trouble, and I went out there to go on a ship, and I didn't want to do that. The game was good, the streets was it was good for me at that time. That was not good for me. The game was good. I was just drinking and getting high. But the game and making money and all that was good at the time. So getting on a ship wasn't for me. Working wasn't for me. Till this day, I never worked and never will. But the point was that was not for me at the time. I don't regret it. People say, oh man, you could have been a merchant marine like your father. No, I didn't want that. I was street poison at that time. And I didn't go. But if I look at it now, would I have changed it? I probably would have. But then again, who said I would have been happy? I would have been a drunk. I would have been on a ship. I would have been probably traveling, drinking, probably having women in every port and doing it. Probably, it could have been a place where I would have had money, but would I have been happy? Think about that. I may not have been as happy. Because for the last 25 years, I've been happy and I've been doing what I wanted to do since I quit drinking. Who's to say I would have ever quit? My father never did quit. He had it to an extent, you know, he was back and forth with it, but it didn't stop him because he was an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic that, what do they call that when you drink at a certain time and you can't stop drinking? But when you stop, you don't drink for weeks or months. He did it like that. Me, I was every day, you know what I mean? Because of my lifestyle. So it worked for him the way he did it, but he could have got killed. He drove drunk. A lot of things could have happened, you know, when he did drink, because he, you know, the way he did, the guy was looking out for him. But the point of it is, I lived my life the way I want to live it, and I was responsible. When he told me, you have to pay rent if you're going to stay here, because I was out getting money and the game was good to me, I paid rent and stayed there because I wanted to be a part of the family. I didn't run away and run the streets like some people did and burn their bridges with their family. I love my family, so when I went to the streets, I seen people that I knew. And I would be in Seattle, and they'd be there, and I'd say, man, it's getting close to Christmas. I'll be going home, right, to spend time with my family. They would be looking at me like I was crazy. Man, you got family? Because they would, I said, man, yeah, I got family. I got family, brothers, sister, I got everything. Everything is mental. They was throwouts, they family, they come out of foster homes. They didn't have nowhere to go. They ended up in the streets from a forced situation where their life was not happy. They were miserable. They didn't have happiness. I came from a solid foundation, so I made the choices to be in the fast life, be in the game. See, it's a difference. Where you be and where you go, it's a difference. That's why a lot of people, you look at their life and you look at yours and you see why they're miserable and they're bitter and they have a chip on their shoulder, because from the gate, when they came from their mother's womb, when they came to the world, you know what I mean, they had to live with a lot of discouraging and a lot of, you know, adversity from the gate. And when they went through teenage years and went to school, they had it hard. I didn't have it hard. I had what I wanted because I was middle class home. You know what I mean? For a black person, I did pretty good. So I had a different advantage. You know, everything I did to myself. You understand what I'm saying? By trying to be independent, but it was good because it gave me a lease on life where I was able to be independent. Because if I had a friend, he stayed at his mother's house till he was 40 years old. She wanted to put him out because he was independent and responsible enough to make it on his own, but he was on drugs and drinking. He never cleaned himself up, never went to a drug program. He just stayed on the ground, stayed on the bottom, never was happy because he never wanted anything. You know, you know what I mean? But you have to get out your comfort zone. He stayed in that comfort zone, scared to do something new. But see, that's what I'm saying. You grow and you get better and you reach out and you learn from the experiences. And experiences is what make you great and make you wise. And you have to realize that, you understand me? And then when you get to a point in your life where everything is right and you're doing it good, you appreciate, you be optimistic, you understand me, about life, because it's one day at a time. I don't care what you're doing in life. It's one day at a time. Whether you're drinking, whether you're on drugs, whatever you're doing, it's one day at a time. We never know what tomorrow's going to bring or what tomorrow is. It's one day at a time to each and every one of us. We only have that one day. No one does know about tomorrow. Tomorrow is not here yet. So in every one of us, that's the way it is. Even though when you're looking at it through a drug addict or alcoholic or somebody like that, they tell you at the meetings, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. But really, that's all any of us in life have. That's all we have is one day at a time. When you look at it like that, and you be the best you can be for that day, and you do it that one day, and you wake up and do it again, and be optimistic, and be fired up about living and about that day, dressing up, being your best, and whatever you do that makes you feel good. You don't have to necessarily be dressing. Your thing could be something else. Like I said, you might be an artist. You might want to paint, or you might go out taking pictures, being a filmmaker. a photographer, taking pictures and doing whatever. Whatever you do with passion and really be aggressive and really feel good about doing that. Whatever you do, you understand what I'm saying, being your best self. That's what you do. And when you do that in your best way, and you can't do no wrong. You cannot do no wrong when you make the best and be the best you can be. What I mean by that, not only that, is be around the best people, read the best material, look at the best movies. You gotta saturate your mind with PMA, as I say, positive mental attitude. You do that, and that'll contribute to being optimistic. When you want to feel good, you have that to your advantage. You see, and remember that. Stay optimistic. I have to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. This is International Red Fashion Experience, and the name of this show is Being Optimistic. And I want you to remain optimistic and one day at a time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.